welcome back to Ace Attorney. We were on the final case of the first game. This is gonna be a long one. I remember this one taking me hours and hours. So, here we go. I'm not sure where we were though. We just talked about the badger. That's right. Did I get anything from that? Ah, yes, we got paperwork so we can go check the crime scene out. Prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. Looks like the investigation is still going on. I have to be getting back to the shop. Sorry, looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. I'll see you in my dreams tonight then, lady baby. Oh, still here? Hello? Why is the surprised look? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs, too. What's happening to the security guard? Hey, what's wrong, Bambi? You're looking like a doggy that lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to be put in charge of crime scene. Okay, well, I got this, buddy, so let me investigate. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Ah, that old cow dog? He's holding a birthday party or something. Huh? Look where it should say letter of invitation. It says invitation. Introduction. It says invitation. Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe, better than a blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me, hey, wait a second. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Without to our gold strike. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settlers, strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny. Can people in Ace Attorney talk normally? I have a hard time reading the English language as it is. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Detective Gumshoe's letter of introduction crumpled and discarded. Is there anything you can tell me? The Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good man. Always died young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angelstar. One stab to the chest, a fine piece of work. This here is the autopsy report. Alright, thank you. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambi. Chief Prosecutor Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back, so there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particular gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the chief prosecutor. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot. So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambi? So, why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. Yeah, okay. Gumshoe's fixing a dancing badger, and you're telling me they're shorthand? Okay, buddy. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with the Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cow dog's been kicked out of the castle run by order of the chief of police. Just he don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? Do I have anything else to really... Probably not this. He probably... Well... What's that? Some sort of police passport? This is a Detective Gumshoe's ID card, strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance in this rat hole? If you want distance, get yourself to Texas. Texas? This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros. Yeah, sure. Alright, compadre, count to 3, huh? You gotta do that if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Remember, remind me never to visit Texas. Okay, so I don't think any of this is really gonna do anything. So let's check the crime scene out a little bit more. Got a phone here. This looks like a cell phone. Scientifically analyzed would suggest this belongs to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What a scientific about that. Should we check it out? Well, yeah. Right, let's check it out. Let's open it. Can we open it? Oh, okay, let's check it out then. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about that. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about the things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you never know with people from your generation. Whatever, let's check this phone out. Now to see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the buttons. Hey, that song, I know that. Hey, what's going on over there? Sorry. I see you, partner. You pressed the redial on the phone, didn't you? Well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyways? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prosecutor Sky. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone, except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now, one of those new fangled ringtones. Oh, that? Oh. I'm sorry, that was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. Wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Uh-oh. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. This rope is it. Yep. They laid it out outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in an underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car. It just screams, I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. What else can I look at? B block is through there. That's where the visitors park. I could see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hi, how are you doing? I like the cute design of the door. I could see a cartoon cow munching down on juicy looking steak. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. Let's see. I think that's it, really. An oil drum. Looks like it was filled with water. It's heavy. I can't even budge it. The drum over here is on its side. Wait, I know. I'll hide in here and do a stakeout. I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested. What? I'm not suspicious. Do you have anything? My sister's cell phone. The last time it was used was 5/18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night? Why did Lana make that call? Alright, compadre. Okay, so you're not gonna tell me about the... Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know who to talk to right now. Nope, she's in questioning. I might have missed some. Oh wait, there's a phone there. Something. Here's the phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to barometric pressure. What is she babbling about? Hey, what did you just say? See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. A ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference in scientific terms, please? The scientific, huh? Look, at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright. This all seems so horribly familiar somehow. Look, a door! This must mean something. I'm not sure that door means anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. I fail to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? Okay, I really don't see anything else. Check the car, I check the body. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. Look, something's written on it. 67512-2? You're right, let's see. 67S12-2. There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so? What does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Okay, that's gotta be it. Would you like to talk about this piece of paper? Nope, you wouldn't want to talk about it, okay. Nope. Okay, let's see if, I really have no... Do you want to talk about any of this? Nope. Nope. Okie dokie. Alright, we already talked to him about that. Okay. Toy shield suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? A toy knight, maybe? Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of those... Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it? Hey, they could have used the same shield over and over. Note this itself. The prosecutor's office in criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap. You know what? They've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. Okay, check. Can we check inside the trunk? No. What am I missing here? This is where the cars leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more like an entrance. What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. Well, maybe it's both kind of a dual purpose. The theory of relativity. What? I've got to write this down. Hey, Mr. Wright? Maybe you know, was Mr. Relatively German or was he British? Mr. Relatively? Are you sure that was his name? Can I go to back? Maybe Edgeworth has something then. I don't know. Edgeworth's not here. Cool. A work desk. It's quite tidy as one would expect. What a nice desk. Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished as well. I can see my own reflection. I'd prefer not to have to look at myself at work. Oh, cute. What a pretty tea set. I go more for the instant tea bags myself. Amazing. The drawer below is filled with packets of tea leaves. They're all sorted by place of origin and flavor. Look at the royal blend. What an exquisitely splendid concentration. There's such a thing as taking a hobby too far. Whoa, what a view. It must be nice to have an office on the 12th floor. I guess you would feel important. Incidentally, were you to jump out of the window, the time until impact with the ground would be... Got it. Approximately 3.23 seconds. That's handy to know. Wow, and what an amazing bone queet. No kidding. Hey, there's a card on here. Back from the dead Wendy. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. And here beside it is a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of the foot. Between a rock and a hard place. Wendy. Is the prosecutor in this office named Wendy? I don't think so. There's a jacket framed on the wall like a painting. The fabric is high-grade cashmere, Italian style. Silk ruffles, turquoise buttons, and gold thread collar. I'm guessing it's worth around $5,000. $5,000? Speaking of which, your suit would be about... That's enough of that. I don't need my life appraised, thank you very much. Okay. Whoa, these are all case files. They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. With the shelves already packed super tight like that, what's the prosecutor going to do when they get new files? Splendid, Mr. Wright. What an unusual observation. I think that was a compliment. We already checked the chessboard. It did nothing. Okay, keep going. Do I have to show you my badge? I see your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star, a lone star, shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark at night. Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. Hey, that sheriff badge. Do you care about... Alright, okay, yeah, you're not gonna talk about that. Seriously. You have anything to say? No. Detective, here's my attorney badge. You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show their police badge. Enough said. I wish I had a badge. Even an ID card would be nice. Wait. Speaking of ID cards, I found that detective card, didn't I? Okay. Is that what you want me to show him? I thought I already did. This ID card belongs to the victim, Detective Bruce Goodman. You can do just about anything these days with a card and the right secret number. Scary. It's only scary because you keep dropping your card, Detective Gumshoe. I forgot my secret number a lot too. It's scary. But I'm me, after all, and what could be wrong with that? I think I'll stay out of this conversation. No, yeah, we already did that. I thought we did. Did we talk about this stupid thing? Okay, he's got to keep his mouth shut about this stupid thing. Apparently this is highly classified information. As a detective, I can't talk about this cell phone, because this cell phone is orange and I don't want... Oh, come on, give me something. Here's a knife. Oh yeah, we already did that. Duh. Gumshoe, you're useless. Okay, so we literally showed Gumshoe everything. So Gumshoe is off the table. I can present the few things I haven't shown him. I showed him that got the card. I showed him my badge. Yeah, I showed him the knife. Oh my god, I pushed the buttons too fast. I showed him that. I don't know if I showed him that. 512, the prosecutor's bright red steed came in a trout. Real slow like. A trout. My Matadin tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems the chief prosecutor was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. So what you mean is the killer intended to use Edward's car all along? Okay, we already tried this, right? Yeah. My sister's cell phone, the last time it was used right after... Maybe she was... Yeah, we did this one too. And he's got nothing to say about... Okay. Is there anything he wants to talk about? Now that I went through all this? Ah. So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister. That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prosecutor tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences. Officer Marshall. Yeah, Bambi? I'm just gonna keep calling her Bambi. How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? I apologize, Bambi. Something must have gotten into me. Maybe it's that dry wind that blowing through the prosecutor's office. Dry wind or ill will, someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicion about Mr. Edgeworth has been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence, arranging testimonies, you know. He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to your source, their source, you find one person. But they're off limits, untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? I hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambi. Chief Prosecutor Luna Sky. What? My sister? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, some people load them with deals. What you're saying, Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there are gunshots, there's bound to be a bullet. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was close to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing this, Mr. Wright? I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So you think we'll be okay? Well, the only thing still bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not a criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. I see. A detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. Uh-oh. Spaghettios to be continued. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice, yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out of this one. I'm doomed. I'll be alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Yes. Haven't I seen you somewhere? Your order, the caviar for lunch, right? Oh, caviar? I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And, for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapikita. What the heck does pickled tapikita taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please, describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, this was very good. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Ah, I know who you are. Cough up Queen, Angel Star. Your Honor, long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for prosecutor office personnel, and B is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor space. Yes. The crime took place by the car in the back of A block, in the car trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that the poor loser are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective initiation to work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garnished car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of the testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed in Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It is merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Yes, sir. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver the lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective initiation at work. I think through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garnished car. So she was on the other side of the fence, right? By garnished car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. We're dealing with Edgeworth here. I need something more substantial than that. Can you tell us what the suspect was doing when you saw her? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Traces of victim blood. No prints. No prints. Tell me more about the knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg from my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg, person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. I still don't see any real contradiction yet. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop the crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it had already been too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking? Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. Well, what do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Somehow I always... Okay, I'll keep pressing her then. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still have one. Laid off. She was fired? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. They said I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue. I was on the way to deliver... Okay. This boyfriend, he's the detective? No, not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches lady. Jesus. Notes to self. The judge had to think about before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in block A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. We already established that. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finally... Okay, let's keep going there. You sensed something, so you're saying you had a premeditation of murder? It felt like... How would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective institution, wasn't the victim, Mr. Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the street. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard... I must be hard yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of old cheese to match. In any case, there is a lot I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire... So we've already pressed run everything. The only thing I could find was the fact that she said she went right to him when there's a fence blocking her way. So I'm gonna probably have to use the map, right? Standing with the Grange car, the chief prosecutor was holding a knife in the right hand. Then she thrust the... Okay, wait, never mind. That doesn't make sense with what she's told us. Somehow I always knew... I was on the way to delivering my lunch boxes when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective initiation. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garnished car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Okay, maybe there's... The one knife wound died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Okay, now... Listen, I'm looking for a contradiction. Give me a second. Jeez, stop yelling at me. The wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing... Now, I think this is wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Yeah. I know, I'm bad at my job. What else is new? Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor. Next to the guard's car, the chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. I mean, there's no fingerprints, but that doesn't... She's using gloves or something. It doesn't seem like a contradiction. Usually in Edward's toolbox, traces of the victim's blood, no prints. It said died within an hour and a half. Within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. So, he couldn't have died right away, right? Is that what I'm missing? When I sense something, perhaps... Adjusted the pointy tip of the knife. Due to loss of blood, one knife wound died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Yeah, I guess that was a dumb one. It didn't really contradict what she was saying. Yes, I get it, it's a flesh room. Leave me alone. I'm trying. Edward's car. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me, I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tag-along elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to a lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at this time? The chief prosecutor was holding the knife in her right hand. See, now I'm not sure because... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Well, there goes another penalty. Oh my god. Let's just keep killing myself. It's alright, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. Okay, can I just check the photo? The moment of the crime. Was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about the knife that the suspect was carrying. Yeah, 4 inches. You can't testify. Okay, yeah, we already did that. Then she trusts the pretty knight into Goodman's chest. Tell me in the court why you didn't try and stop the crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? Defense has a point. Unfortunately, too late. I see. It's only a flesh wound, blah blah blah. Hey, what's up, Sangaya? Let's see. The moment of the crime. Whatever. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife. I gotta check. Thanks for the follow as well. Let's see. Right hand. Blood on the coat. Chief prosecutor's holding a knife in her hand, then she thrusts the tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Something with this wire fence. I'm like 95% sure. I am going to lose. Holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrusts the pointy tip into the knife in Detective Goodman's chest. I'm gonna keep pressing right now. Maybe there's... Maybe there's something that I picked up from pressing her before, because I don't really know. Yes, the second level. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchbox by car? So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. It was my finally honed detective. Okay, that's definitely fine. Pointy tip and the knife into the Detective Goodman's chest. Okay, thank God. Whew! And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't it odd? Look at this photograph. This is a photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection? That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stain on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. I see no problem. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Ugh, you got a better idea? Sure, we'll object. Wait, the contradiction, what the witness said in her testimony, namely that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds, problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-size lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hand in this photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder? A serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Okay, well, let's see. Premeditated murder. Okay, but she didn't have the knife on her. She used Edgeworth's knife, so please be right. Yeah, good. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxes of lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is a knife. It is my knife. What's with this case? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also be prepared for the most important thing? The murder weapon. Uh-oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Order. Great, now the tides are turning in my favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister is as good as free. Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tides have turned. Not over such a trifle detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs proven, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have... Okay, can't read that fast. I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Okay, that's the contradiction right there. That was an easy one. I wish they were all that easy. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Okay, we're going right to that statement. Oh, and I went right past the statement. Yes, I'm an idiot. Okay, here it is. One knife wound. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. Well, what do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to loss of blood from one stab wound. You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness, you got the crime scene set right? Oh, thank you. I've always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such a mistake are possible. So you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splatter from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw what you thought you saw was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looks like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her muffler. What's a muffler? Like the car muffler? Her red muffler. Yes, like oh, okay. The scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for a splattered blood? Blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Star isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Star has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looks when we met her. Challenging her ability as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Lana Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell us. Try not to interrupt her again, rookie. Never interrupt the storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Sometimes half-baked here, alright. Something's half-baked here, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intended to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. Like, is that true? We have her phone. You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth's thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could have tried public phones first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Okay, why? Why would she have a grudge? What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I don't want your stupid food. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See, we agree. There's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good at with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That shows ghastly what does that have to do with the... We already... never mind. Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one, She's right. But we just discussed that this wasn't the case. Isn't it odd that you mistaken for blood? Okay. Well, apparently I gotta find something. So, intended murder... That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Her red muffler looks like blood to me. That's how... Oh, wait. She doesn't have one on here. That's it. Yes. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. Well, what? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or a muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that... It can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly careless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What's with my objections? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No. But something was red, really. Well now, where was it? The witness has given us an entire entertaining interlude, but back to business. Well, what? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabbed the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Let's see. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off the side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in the earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. Okay. You were quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No, thank you. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil barrel. An oil barrel? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. Leopard woman, rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your case cross-examination, if you will. Okay. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind her. I quickly caught up with her. So when she says she quickly caught up with her, that also raises a flag for me because she said she was behind the fence. So that would take her a few minutes. So I don't know if I should show the photo or this. Or I mean this or this. Please be the right one. Please be the right one. Oh God. Am I gonna have to do this all over again? Because no, I'm not doing this again. Can I just quit? Oh God. Was this? Oh God. Trial. Oh God, I'm gonna have to do it again. Oh man, that sucks. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I don't got time for this. I was gonna have to do it again anyways. Oh my God. Skip, 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 skip. Testimony now. I think I had a presser on like everything here. Yes, yes, you don't like prosecutors. We got that. I mean, how many testimonies did we get through? Were we like near the end of this trial? It was probably like the last one. The wire fence. Okay, so this is where she gives you the photo. Yes, thank you. Keep objecting, I guess. Oh my God. Glance was planned, but she didn't have the weapons. I'm speedrunning Phoenix Wright. Tentative murder, Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutors. I'm sure the prosecutors had a grudge against the victim. A human machine to plunge. Okay, that's autopsy. And she didn't have a scarf. Okay, I think we're back to where we are. Yes, perfect. So I showed the picture that clearly was wrong, so let's try the map. I caught her quickly, explained her rights. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run Patricia off to her side. I quickly caught up to her, explained to her rights on the spot, and yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. What did she say about that, actually? She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in the testimony. Cheeky. Anyways, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on the phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately. My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor's first attempt to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order, and so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witness. Witness? Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should... Okay, so my question is, why didn't she use the phone before she used the emergency phone? I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall, but it had... Okay. Why would she use the why? This is probably not right, but... Okay. My question is, why she would use the wall phone instead of the cell phone? Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen closely. Rookie. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up on her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? The chief prosecutor made it escape. The word muffler was 518. You saw her doing this. What does that mean? Did I miss something? Shut up, Bixby. Yeah, I didn't think that was it. Oh, I know. I got it now. Yeah, the wall is blocking her way. Duh. Apparently not. Okay, I'm an idiot. She couldn't have seen it from... Made an escape, but Angel... I saw it all, how she tried... Okay. Let's try this. This was probably the statement I was supposed to present it on. What the frick? Okay, to be on the safe side, I'm going to save now. Because I'm stupid and don't get games anymore. Okay, I saw it all. How... See, the wall's right there, so if she ran behind the wall... Nope. When I was arrested, she missed the muffler. Chief rescued me to escape, but... So I tried that one. Did I try this one too? Yeah, I did try that one. Okay. I saw it all. I also tried the phone on the wall, but I had to use the cell phone instead. See, I don't really know, because I kind of know, but I don't know how to explain it. It's the wall. She couldn't have seen it past the wall. No, I don't want to hear it all over again. She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pate of foie gras. Huh? Yeah, she even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on the side of the scene of the crime. How would you know, Judge? Were you hanging out there? But it's strange, What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other way? The other... Oh, the parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drum. Excellent. More mysterious. I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Sky tried to run. I'm sorry, my sister is just so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am, but she didn't do it. You have to believe me. After the murder, this is a quick 10 behind her after a shot. I quickly caught up to her, explained her right on the spot. Like... And yes, when I rescued you... I quickly... Nope, that's not it either. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? I quickly caught up to her, explained her rights on the spot. After the murder... You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I said, I was only 30 feet away from the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. I'd like to see this on the floor plan, just to be safe. The lunch lane car was here. She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there's a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. The Coffee Queen lunch lady athlete. Indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? And yes, I was arrested. Okay, so... maybe with that, I can finally get some answers? pulled her phone out. And you saw her doing this? I don't know how to explain. Giant wall in the way. Oh, now it's gonna work. I thought I did this. Miss Star, I have concluded that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plan. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the back side of the partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Grr. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell me exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... Well, it could be multiple things. I think she was really on B. So I think it's what she saw. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you when you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Star lie about like that, huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh, dang, she's right. I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the putui on the rice, right? Oh, no. Let's, load that up again. At least I know where the issue is now. Made it escape. She tried to call... Okay. One more time. She's coughing up lies. Okay, so what she saw, where she was, the order of events. Okay, where she was. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about that fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about that. Pointless to lie, I see. But, say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell you. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Sky Star witnessed this crime. Oh, God. The security room? Please be the security room. Security room? This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot. Is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecution office, couldn't park in Block A. The only place where she could see the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, right? So, well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Order, order, order. Witness? What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense, huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw a B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Angle of view of the crime. Distance to the crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is about 30 feet. I don't see how that would have changed what she could see. What she saw is not the question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime, where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend? Yet he wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass wall station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking lot and B lot. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have a photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Oh, absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Do I have any evidence? Let me look at the court records. Let's see. 518, taking a parking lot. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but I really don't know. 5 minutes between the witness of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time if you like it all alternate. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do in 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get any wrong ideas. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. This guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of the testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that Ken shut up. We screwed that Can shut, Mr. Wright. That was close. I'm afraid that the Coffin Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. And I doubt it. I really doubt it. Yep. He ain't taking that going down easy. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist on me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Miss Starr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker. Out of difference to the witness determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lynchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes were when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective, as I mentioned previously. This shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study more evidence laws, really. The prosecution complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another court account against you, witness. Anything to ensure that guilties are properly judged. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Okay, I'm gonna save again because I do not want to do all that again. Save. Alright, what do you got? I should have mentioned these 5 minutes when I crossed. Bring up the shoe. And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief's prosecutors and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See the fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunch boxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was of course, the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensic expert. And she got away with her little capoo because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skye. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. The shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She is in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with this victim's shoes? There is a problem. There has to be a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eye. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish guts now, but you can't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with the evidence. It's right here. It's right here. Right here. You see it? Maybe it's because there's bloodstains in the bottom of the shoe. Yeah, because he... I wonder if you notice. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe? Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of the shoe? Good question. I wish I knew the answer to that. Blood on the shoe. That within an hour and a half. Nope, that's not it. Victim's blood, no prints. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? There weren't any bloody footprints around by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprint at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claims about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprint. Then, where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order. Well, witness? What, huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask why there weren't any footprints. Actually, I'm thinking about that. I think I know. I think it's because she pushed that barrel over. That's true. There was a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it wasn't not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end, but she slipped. There was one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over the oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. The oil drum, was it empty? Oh, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth, though apparently you're not the slowest convoyer belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she kicked it over? The real reason? You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked it over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her. What? What? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tied her quite clearly to this murder. And after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why is that a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence? That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please? What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, a lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is in the past. Any further comments, you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cop-up queen. Look at this. A photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in the photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyways. I'm sorry, Mia. Right? Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Please, for the love of God. Darn you, Mr. Wright. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdict in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't wait. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we get each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think it later. Yeah, there is a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph. Well, can I save? Nope, can't save. Well, there's a scarf in here. I do remember that the scarf is in here, but I don't know if that's the evidence that they need at the moment. Okay, I'm gonna wing it. The problem is this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth, Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf or of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to this case. You said as much as in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, wow! Well, it seems we have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scenes inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew, that was close. But we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? Jeez. I can't believe I failed like 3 times. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much, except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what's happened to your sister anyways? Apparently she got called off to the judge chamber. Probably something to do with a piece of cloth. So this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon's a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who started to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come and take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. We've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That's hard to slip. Ow, huh? What is going on over there anyways? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people's company? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with the scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I reckoned. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. Look, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge just keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinning teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time to continue on with this trial. During our recess, I had a... This is unacceptable. Huh? It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? It's you. Oh wait, sorry I'm late, Edgy. The roads were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, Edgy. How you been? Swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been busy, so busy. Busy, smizzy. Udgy, my boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Udgy. Seems to be a nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little Worthy problem. Worthy giving you all that trouble. You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little Worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gant. Damien Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy. Here, look at the poor fella. I just thought I'd help by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister Muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe on little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth? How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our jobs? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I have no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at the document, where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistake that the signature is there, Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got the reward. I know how you feel, but you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like you to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch, and if I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Whoa, don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at that knife blade. The tip is broken off, and there's a dark red stained blood. Switchblade knife added to court records. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem, not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. Our detective was killed at our police station, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait, a second? You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order. Anyways, we at the department were all flustered, as you might as well guess. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. I'll try my best. This knife is special, but I can't say how. Excuse me, special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might this special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife is in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something, a muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. This knife was found on the scene of the crime? I think that makes it connected to this case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can, Righto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are flowing together. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? Okay, so was there... Six, 7, 5, 1, 2. Yeah, that's it. Wait a second. Ah, at last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Ah, haha, an honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on the knife. It reads SL92, and this is important. Why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S 12-2? Your Honor, it's upside down. The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what you get... aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that is written on the knife tag. Order, order. Well, Chief? Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? The knife was evidence in a case that it was stolen from the department's evidence. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder, it was evidence, you say. Was it, in fact, a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, Little Worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. There was a bad day for... This was... Okay, we weren't in any shape of investigation. Something happened to the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand you were busy with Lana's case, I get it. Yeah. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? Well, 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at the place at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Coincidence. This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001 chance of happening. Chief Gant, please tell us more about this incident. It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't talk much about it. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand. Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties the two murders together? Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed. One was a police station. It can't be coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I better check this knife out. We already know. There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6? Maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on the tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court records again. The knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen. The time of the crime. Yeah, I didn't think so. But I thought since we connected the note with it, it might work now. Apparently not. It's not officially linked. Nope. I can't keep guessing like this, or we're gonna end up in the same situation as last time. Alright, what do we got? We've already checked out the knife. Is there more? Is there more to the knife? We've already read all this. I didn't mean to do it again. I'm too fast with the buttons. Yes, we figured that out. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. We've already found the connection. We've already found the connection. How do I prove it, though? Detective was killed at the police department, you see? Death due to loss of blood. On the same day the detective was prosecuting, another detective was killed at the police station. That's fact, surprising, isn't it, Izzy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect, just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto? I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. How the victim was killed. Where the victim was found. Well, we know it was at the police station, so that'd be useless. We know the time, so I guess how the victim was killed. How was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. This time of the... So, do I have to ask another question? We know he died at the same time, or it happened at the same time. Sure. So tell me where the victim was found. The corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I've heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't talk much about it. Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Huh? You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department evidence room. Not to mention the victim had hit on him the case number on the knife evidence tag. And we also know that the detective's murder at the police department was killed in the very same way, same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be too many connections for it to be coincidence. Yes. You two make a good pair. Why, thank you. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? The two detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife, well, okay, so we gotta go back and press them on that statement, I guess. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try and get what I can out of them. Okay, how about you tell me the victim ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not, you won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID card? Yes, it does. This tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning, it has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police station tell you something? What does it tell you? The same as this guy's. Same as Goodman's. Yes. Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office, two places, two detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of the victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first numbers right again. The number the chief of the police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? Means that what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, righto, sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time and in completely different locations. Order. Chief, what? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error, Mr. Edgeworth. They're yours. What? How? How dare you? We informed you yesterday. I believed it was our Officer Miki who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, ahaha! Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got a report for you, sir. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me, he said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky case. Detective Bruce Goodman murder in the police department evidence room? Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Yeah. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy. Or should I say unworthy? What? Now that was the second rule of evidence. What was the second rule of evidence? Well, Mr. Wright, huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on the trial. And how is that rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on the list. So what does that mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over there. Good job, Righto, my boy. Huh? Well, I was just doing my job, bro. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors, you were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apology, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there has ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Whew. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyways? I'm a little confused, huh? Well, let's see, what's going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out, or at least try. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright, huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. The oil drum was emptied. The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence of the crime scene, never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in the oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done this test? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you my glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of these? To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray. Okay, I'm not using a keyboard, but cool. Okay, let's find some bloodstains. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a bloodstain? It's so, Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigators in action. Oh, okay. Well, we definitely know that this is a bloodstain, but it doesn't something strike you odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood? The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? Definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have been more blood than this. Uh-huh, Mr. Wright? I'm going to mark up on the floor plan where we found the bloodstain. See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. I saved my allowance to buy that. Luminol testing fluid, thank you. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all the evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their own views of the case. Then let's drag the hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah. It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this spray on anything suspicious. Aha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice jelly box. Miss Star, you only trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. The day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but no, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from the security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to do that. I am sorry. Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the event from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what is it? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspects after suspect. And before long they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go or fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these primes and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9, wait, she doesn't mean... What do you think about this? The SL9 incident, it's written on the knife. And on that note, Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on the case, you know. Really? That knife was evidence from the case of the murder weapon. It was due for transfer the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over yet. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Yes, please do. Nope, she won't. Okay. Don't tell us about the SL9 incident. If I think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again, just like that time. That time? Are you going to tell me about that time yet? SL9, good. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I've handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence, so they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence? Of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job, and you were one of those. Myself and the one other person you well know. Wait, could it be? Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professionals, detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side of that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one's up in their fancy office can stop us. Wait, those lunchboxes you sell. There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends, how many does she have anyways? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie, well what? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he, are you his going out? Why do you want to know? I just was wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to the rest as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall, It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurry. I suppose it makes sense a detective did get killed here after all. So the evidence room's the scene of the crime? According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid in an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Is it gonna be that easy? What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that room is the evidence room? The scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh, what's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is if this is a guard station, where's the guard? And I have a feeling I know who he is already. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking up below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check out on who went in and out there. Yes, let's do that. Yikes, those are so prickly. They must be the real deal. I would think just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in cold, rigid shell with spiny pointing in every direction, just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more of an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Look on the floor. A lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap here. Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You sure have an active imagination. An evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be opened? I think we'll need someone's permission to go in first. Okay, I don't see anyone. Do I have to come back here? I didn't really explore very much. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, leather. What was it called again? A pinchy? A pancha? A pinchy? Oh, I know, a poncho. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for next time. Okay. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please, huh? Wasn't that one steak lunch, please? Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now, no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Aw, I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean you heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, Val? On the same day that... Yeah, we read this. I'm not doing it again. Nope. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Goodman, who was he? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. if you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figured he's down there having a good cry. Later, pal. He ran off in the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. I want to go to the detention center. Not. Okay, let's go to criminal affairs then. Wow, everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police station. Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time at the prosecutor lot. Ugh. It makes my head hurt. Well, first things first. Let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up, or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysterious or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Yes, detention center. Perfect. Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Whee! What was that, sir? That's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? A perpetrator? I say I was the perpetrated? Again, sir, that's what I say. You're not, oh, hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, we're not doing this again. No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Officer Meekins. I can do it. Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator, Officer Meekins, reporting, sir. What? What? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. The day of the crime. Sir, I'm a patrolman with the General Affairs, sir. Oh, I can hear you fine, Mr. Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went down to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in that evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicion person. What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And then when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between the cases and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first. Tell us how you hurt your hand. Sure. About your hand. Did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell you the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, sir, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? That's when I looked down. I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. I'm sorry. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leaned heavily on the total stranger side. So you didn't know him. Sir, I worked in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intentions of killing him, sir, none. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey, that's it, sir, that's it. That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment, but sir, I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct. That card was the cause of all of it. This ID card? Exactly, sir, exactly it is. Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is that you remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a lost little patrolman, a lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room, and that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show you his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was at the fluster as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before you do unto them. My father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I woke up, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why are you even arrested? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he never met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Uh-huh. But you still ended up here. They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape was quite clear. Huh? Videotape from the security camera. The crime, my crime. The crime I swore to stamp out. It's there. It's me. It's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No, thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Let's go check out the crime scene. Hopefully he's there now. Nope, he's still not here. Okay, let's go to criminal affairs. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. Not this guy again. And you're sure this is all? You know what it means if there is anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, lockers, garbage cans, bags, coat pockets, hat, under his seat cushions, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Grant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Good question. Is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Inquisition. Yep. Well, they've had no end of trouble with that boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Rado? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait. I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is a bit over turmoil, you might say. Why you'd do just about anything to restore the reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf, too. I mean, they're being the prosecutors, I mean. The scientific speaking is impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is that? Now, Rido, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this is, in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyways. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff, secrets. I can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trap shut. He was the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detective to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. How do we do that? Do we have anything to do that? He's not gonna say anything about that. Nope. The Blue Badger? He keeps saying something about him. So. Show my badge. He doesn't care about my badge. He really has no interest in talking to me right now. We did the knife. We did do the knife, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, well, you're useless, so let's move again. See, I figured I would get something from him to produce some progress, but... Nope, not coming here anymore. Do I have to present anything to you? Officer Meekins, have a look at this. Go ahead, sir, laugh. Laugh at me. Huh? What? I know what you want to say. You're going to tell me how she has one just like it. Me? Why would I? I know, sir, I know. I'm the one without a girl with matching badges. Nowhere. I'm alone, all alone. Is that so wrong? Life isn't all about high school sweethearts and youthful romances. Is he talking about those badges on her coat? I like to think there is a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Let's see if we got anything. Nah, you don't got nothing on that. Yeah. Man, where's the progress? Okay, well he's useless. I've already talked to him, but I don't know what to... Yes, yes. Yeah, I really don't think there's anything here. The blue badger is still writhing around today. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his battery? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Have I explored everything here? I got a steak for you, dude. You want to come here so I can feed you? This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of salon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yarg myself. Okay. Cool hat. Computers. Yeah, we checked everything. There's definitely nothing here. Unless it's the Texas sign. No. Okay. You got anything else to say, buddy, old pal? You want some food? Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that's for Marshall. He doesn't want to look at the knife. Tried the phone, tried that. And this jogged his memory, right? So we already did that too. Yeah, we did all that. Oh, sorry, you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it out for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in that trash can. So nothing belongs to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item. Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of this in just in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Well, I'm trying, yo. Can I go do that now? Gonna be in there, please? Nope, he's still not here. Oh my god, you people. Well, will Grant say something about it then? Is he gonna be like, I'm too busy? Yeah. Okay. How about you? Is this important to you? Okie dokie. Useless. That's about as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red, alright. The body was found in Edward's car trunk, and the lock on the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Sky choose this car? So what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or a coupe? Something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. Maybe it's about time I got my driver's license. That's where we found the note, 221 SL9, the SL9 incident. A case that was due for a transferal the day of the murder, and the detective in charge of the case was the victim. I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was. It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case number. This rope, is it? Yep, they laid out the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the yeah, okay, we already said this. No. That's the fence. B block is through there. That's where the visitors park. So Miss Star climbed over the fence? It would seem so. So yeah, that fence is 9 feet high at least. Well, no time like the present. I think I'll give it a try. Eek! It's okay, don't cry. Maybe there's a Lunchland Olympics team. Is there anything I could talk to you about? What do you think about this? It's on the knife. And on the note. Goodman was the head. Okay, so we did this. Yeah, he's transferring the knife as suspected. Didn't we have another photo of the car? I guess we didn't get that photo. We found this ID card in the parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's, but it's the same ID as the man who was killed in the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be sure. Yep, nothing here. Okay, I haven't went to Edgeworth's office, so maybe? Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday, and I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edward's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigation. I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back. Oh my god. Where does it want me to go? I want to get to the guard station. But no one wants to come and open the door for me. Nope. Yep, it's a waste of time indeed. So... I really don't have anything else to really look at now. So, goodbye, I think? Oh, permission to enter. Great. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor, Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto would come ask me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Now, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone can ask me, sir, can I borrow $50, I'd give you 50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. It just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this. Huh? Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir. It's an honor. You just run along and do your best. Now, later, folks. Peace out. It looks pretty cool on my Leifel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on this girl. Okay, can we go through now? Open sesame. The evidence room is beyond this door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. The card reader is turned off, see? What is the security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what made my Bambi sky is gray? Officer Marshall, why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him, look? So you may have surprised this here, my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw, that card you got there on your chest. That better than a sheriff badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies, the crime scene's a-waitin'. Looks like the card reader is on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind in tangling with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. What if we gave you this delicious thing? That smell reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, you mean Miss Star? What? What's wrong? A feel-it steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Alright, Bambi, you win. Ask. Yes, this is great. I love it. Anything, yes. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Okay, let's talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got a good eye, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and keep calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective a few years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyways. These new fangle machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security room camera? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Shush, phone. Miss Star told us something. She said that you were a detective once, until 2 years ago? It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now. Like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Star, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved in the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyways? We've heard the name so many times, but no one's told us what actually happened. There's some things better off not knowing, Bammy. Anyways, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transferal. Edgeworth was talking about the transferal too. I know that maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambi, me and machines, well, I like them as much as I like stew cauliflower with my steak. The easiest one to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard, and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. Thus, the card reader's by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. So, this is the ID card record? Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambi, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on the record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that the record is tied to the stabbing. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here until the preceding detective supervision for 2 years. So we can re-investigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happened to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transfer. Transferal, we do it every February. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed, forever, dead. Never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago? Okay, let's see if this rings any bells. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, that one, that's the one that you found on the ground in the parking lot. The number on it is 5842189. Officer Marshall showed us that ID card record again. Look, the 4th number, it's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room? But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and I asked the man to display his ID card and, 1 second. Okay. To show his ID card, what did he do? That's the thing, suddenly he pointed a knife at me? If he had his ID card, then why would he point a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadres, you win. I guess I can give you the ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Okay, you know, I'm actually probably gonna end it right here. It's been a good stream, but I kind of want to take a rest and then jump into something a little more fast-paced. I again am going to finish this game. I'm going to finish all 3, but this case is long. I was hoping to finish this case, but then I realized this one is a long case. So next time, tomorrow sometime. But yeah, I'm going to jump into something a little more fast-paced, a little less talking, a little more thinking, a little less thinking.